Bruce Sexton, he sold all his belongings from the United States of America, and he comes down to India with his wife and a 2-year-old son. Why does he do that? Why did he have to do that? What does he want to do in India? Why did he have to leave the United States and come here? Let's wait and watch what Bruce Sexton has got to tell us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bruce Sexton from the United States of America.
Welcome to the Blind Spark Show. My name is Bruce Sexton, and today we have Balaram, Vaishram, and Tiffany. Now, Vaishram, can you tell us, what was it like growing up as a blind child socially?
First, my life was confined to my blind peers in the blind school and my family till I was in class 10. And I started attending regular school from class 11 onwards. But at the very beginning, it was very, very difficult for me to have a friend around me. And most of the time, I feel as if I'm left out among them, and it's very, very difficult. But gradually, I started making myself pro-stick. Then, things changes a little bit, but still, it's very, very difficult.
And Tiffany, can you tell me about your experience with mobility as a young blind child?
As a young blind child, Bruce, I didn't have any mobility skills. I wasn't allowed to walk alone. Someone kept holding me. I didn't know how to use the white cane, and also not many blind girls in Kerala use the white cane. Even now, it's only after coming here to Kandari that I learned how to travel by myself and to use a white cane. That was at the age of 19 or 20. Until that time, I didn't know.
And Balaram, can you tell us some of the challenges that are being faced in the education system in Kerala for blind people?
Thank you very much, Bruce. The main thing which the blind community in Kerala faces is the lack of standards in education. That's the most worrying thing. Of course, we all know that we are 100% literate, the Keralates, and the blind community, of course, they are 73% literacy is there, and 33% of them are employed. But still, the lack of standard in education is the biggest worrying factor in Kerala as far as I'm concerned.
Well, thank you very much. It wasn't that easy in the United States as a blind child that you might think. When I was young, nobody accepted my blindness. Not my parents, not my teachers, nor my peers. So if they couldn't accept my blindness, then how could I? The only thing that let me know that blindness was an issue in my life were my experiences. They were the times that I tripped over the sandbox, and I have the scar here to prove it. It was the times that I was in 6th grade, reading as slow as a 1st grader with these big, large print books. And as I looked around in 6th grade at 12 years old, I was wondering, who could be my friends? And the only people that I found were the ones that were smoking marijuana and drinking. And so those are the things that I started to participate in at such a young age. I graduated high school with very low GPA, low marks, that is. And it was really hard. I had low self-esteem. I had no confidence in myself. And so I decided that I needed something. And that something was to go to the Louisiana Center for the Blind at the age of 18. And at the Louisiana Center for the Blind, 80% of the staff and the management are blind. And the 20% that were not blind could go do their job under a blindfold. That gave us, as their students, a lot of confidence. They taught us in a structured discovery method, and this was that they had high expectations in a curriculum that allowed us to discover the way that we needed to learn. So, for example, when we would go learn how to use our cane out on the street, they would give us an assignment to go to a certain place. We would go to that place, and they would have built-in challenges for us. We would find ourselves in a parking lot, and we would have to listen for the cues that we were taught to, like, oh, the traffic is over here, so in order to get back on track, we have to go over there. And feel the sun on our face in the afternoon, so if I wanted to go west, I'd have to go this way. That was a structured discovery. Another thing that they had for us was confidence building class. And in that class, what we did was we were making wood projects. Mine was a jewelry box. And I decided to make it in the shape of a butterfly. Because at that time in my life, I was transforming between a little caterpillar down on the ground. And I had a very narrow view of the world. I didn't have much confidence. And I was transforming into a butterfly with its wings, newfound wings, into confidence and independence. And as I graduated from the Louisiana Center for the Blind, I wanted to abandon my dream of becoming a travel instructor to teach how to use the cane, because I wanted to do something so much bigger. I wanted to help blind children, to prepare them to be confident. And my speech today is governed by the fact that we should not wait until adulthood to train blind people to be confident and have independence. So I came to Kentucky with the plan to start a preparatory school for blind children. And this preparatory school will have children ages 4 to 10 years old. And these children will be just very similar to their sighted peers. You know, a sighted child at 4 years old is learning how to use the crayons and color, and that's building up their muscles for writing. The sighted child is watching the sighted child is watching their teacher read books, and they're reading them left to right and top to bottom. And that's helping them to learn literacy. And that sighted child is also looking around and seeing how big things are, Tiffany. They're seeing how big things are, like a car. So what do we want to do with the blind children? We want them to use pegs to fit into tight-fitting spaces so that they can build the muscles to write the Braille. We want to have them touching a person, reading Braille left to right and top to bottom. We want to bring them up to a car, and then they can look at the very bottom of the wheel, and they can feel every little detail of that car. And then they can look at the top and see how tall that car is. Or maybe it's a bus or a truck. And then they can see how long it is. This is some of the ways that blind children are going to get to know what they need to do. Another way is, as they get older, we will work with them to do raised lines. And with these raised lines, they will be able to start learning how to use geographical maps. And we'll start teaching them math Braille. And one thing that brings me, Jacqueline, and Hernando, who met here at Kentucky together, is what we've called proactive integration. Proactive integration is the idea that, well, let me tell you what normally happens. What normally happens is a blind child is guided into the classroom by a sighted assistant. She's sat down on the chair, and she's told to sit there while the assistant takes out the laptop and takes all the notes for that blind child. And that assistant does everything for that child from the beginning of the day until the end. But that's really a passive way to interact with those sighted children that are next to them. At Blind Sparks India and Blind Sparks International, that binds Jacqueline and Hernando and me together, we want to teach proactive integration. So that same blind child will take her cane and walk confidently into the classroom. She will take out her Braille slate and stylus and take her own notes. She will do everything for her own self from beginning to end. Then, only then will she be independent. We want to see, ladies and gentlemen, we want to ignite these blind sparks so that they can jump into society. They will be the problem solvers of the world. They will know what questions to ask and how to ask them. Through them, their parents, teachers, and peers will know exactly what the blind are capable of. Nothing will be able to hold them back. If they want to become an engineer, a mathematician, or even a physicist, they can. They will be the leaders of their communities, and they will be confident in their lives. That is the Blind Sparks way. That is our belief. And together, we can fundamentally change the way blind children are empowered today. Let's not wait until they're adults. Let's start today. Thank you very much. Please ask questions. One question at a time. Is my request.
Bruce, thanks for this. This is great. I'm delighted that you want to come to Kerala. You want to. I'm just curious to know why. That's one thing. Mm-hmm. The other thing, I just love the part of your presentation where you talked about touching, because this is the idea. The sighted people are blind in a completely different way, because they are so visually inclined that they completely lose a sense of their other senses, what the other senses can do. And I keep thinking of ways in which we can bring together people who are blind and people who are sighted. And I have a feeling you should maybe at some point of time, after you finish your dream project, think of a way of bringing together sighted children and blind children and teaching them together about touch.
Yeah. After 2 years of our residential program, the blind children will be able to integrate themselves into society. And the great thing is that they will know how to teach their sighted peers how to do all the things that they've learned. To your first question, I chose Kerala. I could do this project anywhere in the world, but I'm happy to do it here because my brother is here, and there are some very progressive thinkers and organizations. For example, Braille Without Borders and Chakchimati. So I'm just happy to start it here.
Bruce, excellent presentation.
Hi, thank you.
You know my voice.
Yes.
Okay. My question, you're talking about a preparatory school for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Is it?
Yes.
After 2 years, what these children are going to do? They're going to the current system?
Thank you for the question. After 2 years, they will be able to go to the current system. What the most important thing I think is in blind children is that they'll be able to work alongside their sighted peers. Can I say one more thing?
Please.
Okay. I would like them to go to a more progressive school that trains blind children. So in the first couple of years, I'll be looking around for a school that will be most suited for their needs.
Okay, so that school will be an inclusive education school, or?
Correct.
Okay. And what is your understanding about the current schools in Kerala or in India?
My current understanding is that either a blind child goes to a blind school at 7 years old, and they get a lot of braille and but not very much mobility, or they go to an inclusive school where the sighted and the blind don't really know how to mix amongst each other, and they don't always get the reading material that they need.
What is the first thing you're going to teach a blind student in your school?
How to speak up, how to talk.
How to talk.
How to, I mean, not how to say words, but how to be
independent.
How to be independent, how to speak for themselves.
Okay. That means make them understand that they are valuable to society.
Exactly.
Good. All the best.
Thank you. And I look forward to partnering with you.
Well, Bruce, I understand that your plan is to empower the entire school with the help of a blind child, right?
To
empower the entire school or the society with the help of the blind child.
To empower the
entire school.
School.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about the general school
Ah.
with the help of a blind child.
No,
Once he is completed the training and he is joining the general system.
So what the Blind Sparks India will do is it will empower the blind children to then integrate into the school. And we'll also be giving workshops for teachers and parents to help them with that transition.
Okay. See, I'm a person who was involved very much in the integrated education program in Kerala. And I believe that we did something. I'm not saying that it's 100% perfect. We did something. Yes. Over all these 20, 25 years, along with the government, we did something in this area. So even then I agree that, when we talk about mobility, when we talk about the command over the language, when we talk about the confidence of the children, blind children particularly, these things we are lacking, I agree. What are your plans to improve this, particularly the standard of education?
The standard of education.
Education for the blind children.
Well, by giving blind children these foundational skills at a very early age, we believe that they will be ready to go into the education system and the normal education system and get the rest of what they need.
But you know, Bruce, there is a government order in the country that the blind children are exempted from doing mathematics.
They're exempted from?
Doing mathematics. That is only an exemption. If you want to do mathematics, you can do it.
Yeah.
That is only an exemption. If you're not able to do it, okay, leave it and take something else. But what is happening here is 100% blind children are leaving mathematics, and without mathematics, it's very difficult to survive in this world. So in that situation, what is your plan?
Our plan is to first give the child basic mathematics so that they can go into the school with that basic understanding, but also to support the child after they leave the residential center with material resources, and also workshops. So they'll be able to come to our residential preparatory school for a 2 or 3 week workshop where they can brush up on their skills as they get older and older.
Oh, great. You mean follow-up will be there?
Yeah, we'll follow up, definitely.
Excellent. Thank you.
Bruce, since you intend to work in Kerala,
Yes.
I was wondering whether you know something about the educational system here, as well as local government. Now, schools are mostly under local government, and there have been some initiatives from the local government to start special schools. They're called buds in panchayats, where children with special learning needs, that's an official language, are sent to, and there are teachers who give them special training, including confidence building and so on. I was wondering whether you would like to maybe tie up with it. Have you given it a thought?
If our philosophies can match up, then I'm happy and willing and grateful to work with any organization, any government to do that kind of thing. Yes,
right now, your priority is to build a program, is it?
It's to build a 2-year curriculum for residential learning. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
And Bruce, you have an online panel. Her name is Yoshimi Horichi. She is an ex-Kantari.
Yes.
She was born and raised in Japan. She got inspired in India and now working in Thailand. She's graduated from Kantari in 2009 with 19 other participants. She was born with very little sight and got totally blind in late teen. She was critically addicted to reading. A helpless bookaholic is what she calls. And she's running an always reading caravan to promote the joy of reading and learning to children and adults in rural Thailand through mobile and community library and an early education center. Now, her question to you. Could you elaborate on